Hey, what's going on, guys? I've just seen a couple of comments here and there, like asking about my like settings or like my favorite loadouts or guns and like what builds I may use. So I'm just gonna like kind of as quickly as I can, go over what I use. I guess for starters, I have a 5 look sensitivity and 1.0 ADS. My DPI is 500. Some of my friends like make fun of my sensitivity, like call it like a dad sense or being so slow, but I don't know, works for me, I guess. Some like the important notable keybinds would be like melee bound to my mouse button, just because it's really easy to reach. I guess like for example, like you want to melee really quickly, like after you shotgun someone. So like this right here, I can just like left click and then press the side mouse button, so it's really easy. I do have my jump on scroll wheel and spacebar. This is really good on Warlock and Titan especially. Warlock, you can skate up the stairs and go super fast and then catch people off guard like that. On Titan, you can use catapult jump and be the fastest the Titan can be with the scroll wheel skate. So this is obviously like a very huge, especially one of the bigger advantages of being on mouse and keyboard. I have my class ability set to caps lock. Now normally this is fine on Titan and Warlock because their class abilities don't move the character, but on Hunter, like I can't directly dodge left just because it's like an awkward like press for my fingers. And so if I'm dodging left, like I have to flick my mouse all the way around to forcibly like change the camera angle. So it's not the best, but it gets the job done, I guess. That's what I'm used to. Air move or Icarus dash or like shadow dive. I usually put on bottom side mouse button, just because again, easy to reach, easy to control. Like I'm moving with the character with my mouse as I'm Icarus dashing, but I also have the button to activate Icarus dash on the mouse. So it's just like, it's nice that it's all in one place. I have my super and grenade keys swaps because I used to play Overwatch and the Q was the super button, so I just felt that was more natural to me. 1, 2, 3 for my button swaps because I have my scroll wheel bound to my jump. Okay, and I guess starting with my Warlock, normally I'm using Ophidian Aspect just because it buffs like every part of every gun you use. And so normally I'm using like a hand cannon and shotgun, and especially in the case of hand cannon shotgun, like Ophidian's buff like the key like stats that make the shotgun and hand cannon like feel better. Most notably like the handling, especially like the Fragments on like Titan. It may pull out really fast because it is quick draw, but it won't ADS really fast or stow like quickly at all. And so it feels really clunky on other characters even though it's quick draw, but Ophidian's like negates that completely and makes the shotgun feel so much better. And in this case especially, like because it is quick draw, I don't need to use dex mods that help the shotgun. I can just focus on mods that help my primary weapon, which is going to be used the most. And most of the time I'm using a 120. Just because there's so many SMGs, you want to be able to play your distance, and these do so much chunk damage that like they can really help like team shot. And if you have like SMG teammates as well, literally all you need to do is shoot like the guy they're trying to shoot at once with one of these bullets, and then like they get the free gunfight as well. So like it's really like a win-win. If you're trying to use a hand cannon, I would definitely recommend the 120s, at least in this meta. So in the case of my Ophidians, I use Solar Loader and Solar Dex just to make my Igneous pull out faster and reload faster. So I use this most of the time. Most of the time I'm using subclass wise, I'm using Nova with Devour and Child of the Old Gods for trials. If it was scrims, I'd probably use Chaos Accelerant because this is banned. But in the case of trials, like this is too good because it gives you more fragment slots than Chaos Accelerant. And it's the little ball that comes out, like that comes out of your rift. Not only does it like, drain the other people of health, but it also gives you your abilities back. So you get your nades and your other abilities charging me faster just for, using your rift. And I use Spike Grenade just because, you know, it doesn't have to synergize with Chaos Accelerant. It doesn't get a bonus from using that aspect. And I find that this is the best nade to use anyway. Like on all these characters, it just has the most potential for like big plays, because you can just stick them on a wall and it kills so fast. And if you manage to get a kill with this thing, you'll proc the health regen, and so you'll start running people over once you got that going. So that's what I use. Fragment wise, I use the melee health regen one, and this one. These are like the most important ones, especially for trials, because you get the health regen on melee kill, and the 10 res, which is nice. And then this one, although it does lower your recovery by 10, you get an overshield when you kill someone in the red health. So usually this lets you survive like things that you wouldn't have otherwise survived. Like especially like things where you would have traded, like because there's a teammate like watching like the guy you just killed. You may be able to get away from that second guy if you have this overshield, because it'll let you tank like another hand cannon bullet, for example, than you normally would have. And then I guess the other two are extended nade duration and explosions on ability kills. I use the big Nova Bomb because it will block shots when you throw it. So it's usually harder to trade with this Nova Bomb unless you're like throwing it point blank, like at the floor. So you'll damage yourself. But if you use this smart, it's really hard to trade with this because you throw the Nova Bomb and they can't shoot back and shoot. You get the health regen. This one's really good. I find that I usually end up throwing it from too far away, and so I just all whiff it and I'll miss the Nova Bomb. But if you're obviously better than I don't know, you're crazy. Like you can throw and you're skillful. Like you can throw this Nova Bomb from so far away and get huge picks that you couldn't get with this, because you can throw this through tighter windows, and the suck like sometimes is kind of huge for dragging in like multiple players. So I usually Void. That's what I use for Void, and usually I'm playing Dawn if I'm not doing that. Like this week for Trials, I guess on Distant Shore. I'll use Heat Rises and Icarus Dash with the Fire Bolts with the seasonal mods. You get 2 of them, which is nice to get the Crazy Scorch. So Steel Fire, obviously like the original OG OP melee. Wall of Radiance, because it charges the fastest and it's the best for the zones. The Fragments that make you Radiant, the extra Scorch, and I guess, I don't know if there might be something better than this, but just the 10 Discipline. And so I'm going to go switch to my Hunter real quick. We'll see what's going on here. Okay. Normally, I'll be using build Solar Hunter with either Blade Barrage or Goldie, 3-shot Goldie. I don't know. I like the 3-shot more than the 6-shot, just because I feel like I take my time and play smarter with the 3-shot. The 6-shot like is probably better in quick play, but I think the super is just better overall because it'll last way longer most of the time. And Blade Barrage is just like a good safety pick because it charges faster than both of these, and it's just a nice one-off shutdown. Gambler's Dodge to get your melee back. Strafe Jump, of course. Knife Trick because it's really good with shotguns. You can shotgun someone and fan these like things out like your Genji from like 10 meters and clean up lots of kills with these things. They're really cool. Trip Mine because like Spike Grenade, you can cover so much big chunks of the map with these things and do huge damage to push with. Mark, the best part about the class, you get the super handling bonus. And then most of these fragments are just like stat boosters for the build. I use speed loader slacks most of the time now. I used to use mostly stompies, but I think after this, after I played the campaign and I got these, I was trying them, and really they're just better Dragon Shadow. They do everything. The only things they don't do that Dragon Shadow does is give you the reload. And these not only give you airborne effectiveness as part of the buff, it can be refreshed on kill, and it gives it to your teammates who are close by. So I feel like this does more overall, because more often than not, the buff from these boots, like the handling, the reload, and the airborne effectiveness, lasts like from at least like 50% to like twice as long as Dragon Shadow most of the time, or at least last longer than maybe you're on your mark. So in the time between you're on your mark, like dodge procs or like headshot kills, you'll still have the buff from the speed loader slacks buffing all your guns, which makes the handling and gunplay feel way better. So yeah, I don't really play any other characters, so, or any other of the other subclasses, so I'll go swap to my Titan real quick. Most of the time I don't really play my Titan as much, especially this season, because the SMG shit is kind of boring. But if I'm playing Striker, you know, like normal Thunder Crash, Shoulder Charge, Catapult because it's faster with mouse and keyboard, the scroll wheel, Knockout, Touch of Thunder for the double lightning nades, and Knockout because it's just the best. It's just so good. The health regen and the crazy melee damage. I have these Fragments on. I probably could swap out this one for maybe like the resist one, or like the extended duration. Actually, that's probably what I should do. I'm gonna do that real quick. But I wouldn't use, normally I don't use Spark Resist because it's I'll play this character a lot in private matches, and this is usually banned in most scrims. So usually I use something like this. And then my favorite guns are on Titan are Rose and Matador. So like this is probably the best. I mean, honestly, I don't. Maybe small bore would be better. Maybe people will like more stability on this Rose, but I've really been liking this one, and I haven't felt the need to replace it yet, because the slide shot, obviously you don't have to reload, and I use backup mag, so you get 3 shots per slide. Rangefinder, it's just the best perk on hand cannons. I don't know, because in the games that actually matter, like your hand cannon, like if 2 people who are equally as good as each other are like shooting each other with like this exact same Rose, and one has rangefinder and one doesn't, like the guy with the rangefinder is like gonna win, just simply because they're gonna be doing more damage from farther away than the other guy, and it's easier to hit your shots from distance with rangefinder because it also has like a boost on like the cones or whatever. It's like it makes the bullet magnetism better as well. So this is just probably like my go-to legendary hand cannon, at least for most of my characters, just because it's beneficial with the auto reload and the crazy range. Matador is probably my main shotgun Titan. I mean, it's just nice. It just pulls out really fast and kills like from a nice distance. Like, I don't know, it does the shotgun's job well. I guess I'm usually using Dunes. Sometimes, I guess I don't have Synthos on me, but sometimes I like using Syntheseps with Sentinel. But most of the time, keep the Doom Marchers on. I do have a Trials Winter build ready to go if I'm playing Trials and people like get mad that I'm playing Warlock and like want me to swap. So like, this is what the build looks like. I usually play Sentinel with these Spike Grenade and the Overshield Barricade and the this thing that buffs your abilities. I usually have these Fragments. I just find that it's better because when gunfights with the SMG, it's nice to have the Overshield so you can tank a few extra bullets. Cloud Strike, obviously, because you get the free kills just for getting 1 kill. And then the Immortal, like the greatest gun in history, is like obviously like the best gun to be using. I do have the target lock juice, that max range. I don't know, it's pretty boring to use, but it definitely is. It is definitely the best gun. Peacekeepers, obviously. I think that like the next meta after this is like Inteus wards with a fusion and no time. No time, a fusion, and Inteus wards is probably like the next big thing to complain about. But yeah, I guess those are all my builds. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.